Today on the Cardinal Sports Network, your Lawrence Cardinals will be taking on the Trenton Tornadoes in boys varsity soccer on senior night.
Hello everyone, welcome to Lawrence High School soccer class of 2022 senior night. This is truly a special group of players, as 10 of these 12 young men have been part of the program all 4 years. My first year varsity, these young men were freshmen. It's truly special for me to see a group of these players go through the programs. They have all worked extremely hard to be the best person, student, and soccer player that they can be. I truly thank them for making coaching here at Lawrence such a great experience. These seniors truly leave a great legacy for our younger players to follow. Now to announce our seniors. First up, Kevin Apprecio Paz with his family. Kevin has done a great job through his career. Kevin either plays up at forward or in the midfield. He does an awesome job of getting the ball off his feet and helping us keep our possession of the soccer ball. Thank you so much, Kevin, for all your hard work. We wish you the best of luck in the future. Kevin Aparicio, pass. Next up, Anthony Balbuena with his family. I've only had the pleasure of coaching Anthony this season, but it's been a great experience. He plays up top for us, has great speed and feet, which makes him very dangerous as forward. Coming in as a senior is tough, but Anthony has worked hard every day and is well liked by all of his teammates and coaches. Thank you, Anthony. All right, next up, Owen Boggs with family. Owen has had a great career for Lawrence. He truly loves the game of soccer and has done all he can to be the best player he can be. I know Owen would love to play in college, and I think he has a good chance to do so, as he has a great motor, good feet, and truly loves the game. Thank you, Owen, so much for your commitment over the last 4 years. Thank you, guys. Next up, Freddie Canas. Walking out with Coach, I love it. As a sophomore, I asked Freddie to convert from field player to a goalie, and he did, never complaining, always giving his teammates his all. Throughout Freddie's career, he's had played in some huge games and has made some huge saves during that time. Freddie was truly a pleasure to coach, and I can't thank him enough for being a great member of our program. Freddie Canas. Next up, Elvis Cuevas Gonzalez. Elvis was voted team captain this year by his teammates. This is due to his hard work and passion for the game of soccer. Elvis plays with the true love of the game. Elvis plays up top for us and is extremely dangerous, as he has great feet, which gives him opportunities to take defenders one-on-one. I know Elvis is looking to play in college. If he continues to love the game and work hard, I think he can do that. Elvis Cuevas Gonzalez. Next up, Gabe Duda. Gabe Duda has been a valued member of our program over the past 4 years. Gabe has done everything coaches, teammates have asked him to do during this time. Credit to his hard work. The amount of improvement I've seen in him from his freshman to senior year is tremendous. I can't thank him enough for being such a committed player to the program. Gabe Duda. All right, next up, Maddox Holmes. He's with his family as well. Maddox was also voted captain this year as well. Maddox has started every game the last 2 seasons at center back and does a great job. He has great vision and understanding of the game, which puts him in great spots to have success. It has been a true pleasure coaching Maddox, as he is a great teammate and a very hard worker. Thank you, Maddox, for your commitment. Maddox home. Next up, Patrick Maloney. Patrick has had a great senior year at outside back. He does a great job of winning 50-50 balls. He is definitely one of our tougher defenders on the team. Once he wins the ball, he does a good job at getting forward and helping us get in our attack. Through Patrick's career, he has toughed out multiple injuries and has done all he can to be on the field to help our team to be successful. Thank you, Patrick, for your toughness and commitment. Patrick Maloney. Next up, Josh Marandino. When it comes to being a great teammate, it does not get better than Marandino. He works extremely hard every day, never complains, and does all he can do to make our team the best it can be. Marandino plays in the back for us, and if there is a 50-50 ball in the air or on the ground, you know Josh is going to come up with it. Thank you for all your hard work, Marandino. Next up, Jason Romario Silver. Jason has had an awesome career, and it's been special to watch him grow as a player. Jason has been getting solid varsity time since his sophomore year, and his junior and senior year has been a starter in the midfield. Jason can truly run for days and has such great touch and vision, which helps keep our team to possess the ball and to be successful in the middle of the field. Thank you, Jason, for your hard work and commitment to the program. Jason Romario Silver. Next up, Rodrigo Ugari Corrado. Rodrigo has been part of the program all 4 years as a backup goalie and one of our managers this season. Rodrigo is truly one of the nicest kids that have come through the program. He does anything that we ask him to do with a smile on his face. Thank you so much, Rodrigo, for your commitment and being part of the program for the past 4 years. Rodrigo. Last but not least, Carl Walensky. Carol has played pretty much every position on the field, from forward to defense, and this year found a home at outside back for us. Carol just works hard every day in practice and games. He's a great teammate, he never complains, and has played any position I've put him at, and has worked tirelessly to be the best he can be at that position. Thank you, Carol, for all your hard work. Carol Walensky. In closing, I just wanted to thank these seniors one more time for their commitment and hard work. Watching you guys grow from little boys to these great young men have truly been surreal. Groups like this is what makes coaching fun. These seniors truly love the game and love being part of Lawrence Soccer. Our program wishes you the best of luck in the future endeavors, and we always are here for you if you need anything. Let's give a round of applause for the class of 2022 soccer seniors. And Trenton, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Coach, thank you. Thank you, seniors.
You're watching the Cardinal Sports Network here on LTPS TV.
Starting in goal for Lawrence will be Edwin Garcia, and in goal for Trenton, Francisco Lima. And there's the centering of the ball to start the game. Trenton sends the ball down the sideline. Cardinals right there, and knock it out of bounds to stop the drive.
Yeah.
It'll be a throw-in for Trenton. The last 5 games where Lawrence has played against Trenton, Lawrence has been victorious. Trenton has not been doing too well this season. They've lost their last 5 games. Lawrence has been doing a little better. They've won 3 of their last 5 games. Now Lawrence with a throw-in. And that's going to be fired over towards the goal by Trenton. Now trapped in the corner. That one's going to go across the end line, and looks like it's going to be a call against Lawrence and bring up a corner kick for Trenton. Trenton with the kick. And Lawrence is going to settle that one down. Oh, got run over there, and Lawrence recovers. They'll drop it back and move it over to the other side of the field. Now Lawrence on the far sideline. They'll play it up the sideline. Lawrence gets past the defender. Slide tackle there, and now the ball sent across the end line. I believe that's going to bring up a goal kick for Trenton. Nice to hear the cheerleaders supporting the team. And there's the goal kick from Trenton. Trenton settles the ball. They'll drop it back and fire it up along the sidelines. Now Trenton working the sideline, trying to advance the ball. That was going over the end line. And Lawrence thinks that's going to be a goal kick. And yes, it is. Setting up for the goal kick will be Maddox Hone. Hone belts it out. Nice kick by Hone. Trenton tries to return it, doesn't get very far. Lawrence tries to cross it, and that doesn't go very far. Now Trenton kicks it up the line. It's deflected, and finally they get it out towards the middle of the field. Trenton will launch the ball down the field. Hone settles it, and he'll send it back out past midfield. Lawrence now on the near sideline. Balbuena with the cross. Oh, and nobody able to get a foot on it to put that one in the goal. Nice cross there by Balbuena. Here's another cross out in front of the goal. Still no one able to put that in. And that was going to go across the end line. Looks like it's going to be called a corner kick for the Cardinals. Owen Boggs heading over to the corner to take the kick. Silver heading over to lend a little support, but couldn't get free. Now here's Boggs with the kick. That was going to be slapped away by Lima. Lawrence plays it back, and now advancing it down the far sideline, popped up in the air. Now Lawrence sends it in towards the 18, but that's going to be stopped by Lima. Now Lima runs it out to the end of the 18, and he'll drop kick it past the midfield line. Sent even further down by Trenton, but Lawrence puts a stop to that and returns the ball. Now Balbuena plays it forward past Aparicio. Aparicio is going to drop that back. Silver on the far side with the ball. Aparicio, and that's popped up in the air, and it's going to be taken away by Trenton. Trenton moves it over to the near side of the field. Now they'll try and play it up the middle. That's going to be stopped by Boggs. Now Lawrence sends it down the field. Trenton able to clear the ball. Trenton with a shot on goal. And there's the first goal of the game. Now Sylvester Harrison puts it in the back of the net to give Trenton a 1-0 lead over the Lawrence Cardinals.
You're watching the Cardinal Sports Network here on LTPS TV.
Cardinals will center the ball to get action going again here. They'll drop it back, and big kick up the field. That's going to drop right into the 18, and Lima's going to rush out and grab that one. Lima with a drop kick. And Trenton's going to be on a breakaway with it again. Can't maintain the footing, though. The ball's popped way up in the air. It's going to go across the far sideline. Looks like it's going to be Cardinals throw-in. Well, the call's going to go against the Cardinals. That's going to be Tornadoes throw-in. Here's the throw-in. That was going to be called back and turned back over to the Cardinals. Cardinals waiting for the go-ahead from the referee. I believe that's Patrick Maloney getting ready to do the throw-in. There's the throw. And that's going to be out of bounds on the Cardinals. It'll be Tornadoes with another opportunity for throw-in. There's the throw. Picked off by the Cardinals. And now it's the Cardinals working it forward. It's going to be cleared by the Tornadoes. Back and forth it goes. Cardinals will settle the ball. It'll be tipped away by the Tornadoes. Cardinals recover. Tornadoes with a steal. They'll send it the other direction. And that'll be a whistle against the Cardinals. Free kick for the Tornadoes. Andy Mendez setting up for the kick. Here's the kick. Headed away by the Cardinals and kicked even further away. Now Cardinals will settle it. Pass is picked off by the Tornadoes. Tornadoes send it back to the far side of the field. Cardinals will take that away. And playing around on the line there, trying to beat the Tornadoes. Tornadoes take that one away. Shot on goal. And it's the second goal of the game. Ryan Blanco finds the back of the net to give the Tornadoes a 2-0 lead here in the early going of this game.
You're watching the Cardinal Sports Network here on LTPS TV.
Now the Cardinals will center the ball to resume action. They'll drop it back. And big kick up the middle. That one's headed the other direction. Cardinals head it back, and once more the Tornadoes head it. It's going to go out of bounds. It'll be Cardinals ball. Guam with the throw in. Ball's going to be taken away by the Tornadoes. Tornadoes pass to the middle of the field. And big kick towards the goal. That one's going to go over the goal. It'll be a Cardinals goal kick. Garcia setting up for the kick. Meanwhile, Hone had to get a ball out of the net there. Cardinals played over towards the near side of the field. Drop it back. It's going to be out of bounds on Trenton for a Lawrence throw-in. With the throw-in. Well, that's been called back, as now it's going to be Trenton throw-in. Headed the other direction by Lawrence. Now popped up in the air by Trenton. Trenton settles the ball. Pass up the middle. Now working it over to the far side of the field. It's going to be tipped away by the Cardinals and kicked over the end line by the Tornadoes. That will bring up a goal kick for Lawrence. Owen with a short kick. I'll send it over. I think there's Ochoa over there in the corner. Now that's sent up the sideline. Out of bounds on Trenton. Lawrence throw in. Sepulveda with the throw in. Yeah, referee's called that one back. And it's going to be a throw in for Trenton. There's the throw. And now it's Trenton on the attack. Lawrence defense takes that one away. Cardinals drop the ball back. And big kick up the field. There's a cross out in front of the goal. No one there. And whistle on the play on that one is going to give the ball to the Cardinals. Couldn't quite tell if that was inside the 18 or not. Looks like it's going to be a penalty shot for the Cardinals. Maddox Hone setting up for the kick. He's been doing the goal kicks for the Cardinals and booting them way up in the air. Hopefully he can keep this one down enough to get in the net. Hone with the kick. And it's in. It's a goal for Lawrence. Max Hone scores to make it a 1-2 game.
You're watching the Cardinal Sports Network here on LTPS TV.
Now the Tornadoes will be centering the ball to resume action. They'll drop it back. Play it over towards the far sideline. Trenton advances it up the line, but it gets away, and Lawrence gets a hold of it. Now Lawrence moving up the middle. They'll play it over to the near side of the field. Nice wall pass there. Oh, that pass out a little too far in front. Trenton moves it out, but Lawrence launches it. That was going to go over the end line and bring up a goal kick for Trenton. There's the goal kick. Lawrence sends it the other direction. Trenton returns it. And Trenton finally settles the ball. Now Lawrence moves it over to the near side of the field. Across the center there, and it's taken away by Trenton. Lawrence clears the ball, headed back towards the Lawrence goal, and back again by Lawrence. It's going to be headed out of bounds by Trenton to bring up a Lawrence throw-in. We're going to hold up play for a couple of substitutions. Balboa heading out of the game. Fresh legs on the field for the Cardinals. There's the throw in. And the cross. Oh. Nice attempt at first hit, but a little high. That one's going to bring up a goal kick for the Tornadoes. Trenton setting up for the kick. There's a kick, and a good kick it is. Out past the midfield line. Cardinals coming back with the ball. Kicked out of bounds by Trenton. Throw in by Nelm. Now across to midfield. And Caruso will send it over to the far side. Dribble back out to the middle of the field. Shot on goal. And that one's going to be fielded by Lima. Lima with the drop kick. Trenton comes away with the ball. Trenton with a pass up the middle. It gets away, and the Cardinals come back with it. And Ochoa got a hold of it. He'll drop it back to Hone. I'm sorry, that's Caruso. Now Cardinals move it over to the near side of the field. That pass is picked off but kicked out of bounds by Trenton. A Lawrence throw in. There's the throw. And once more, Lawrence with a throw in. There's the throw. That one's going to be turned over to Trenton, but recovered by Lawrence. Shot towards the goal is cleared by Trenton. Now Lawrence gets a hold of it. Lawrence taking their time. A shot from way outside. Diving leap there by Lima, but unnecessary as that one was wide of goal. That'll bring up another goal kick for the Tornadoes. Here's the kick. Headed further down the line by Trenton. Lawrence stops it. And now Lawrence trying to advance it. That one's picked off by Trenton, but recovered by Lawrence. Going to be cleared by Trenton. Trenton settles the ball. Now across to the far side of the field. And Lawrence will clear that one. Lawrence coming down the far side of the field. Here's the cross. Loose ball in front of the goal. That was going to be cleared by Trenton. And that's going to be a free kick for Lawrence. That was Naum who went down. And Maddox Hone will be taking the free kick. Here's the kick. Headed over towards the goal. But Lima gets to it first. Josh Temple was right there ready to put that one in. Unfortunately, Lima got his hands on it before he could. Another shot from way out. That was just going to clear the goal. Going to bring up another goal kick for Trenton. Cardinals have been shooting quite a bit lately, trying to tie up the score. We're still in the first half of this game. And Tornadoes with the goal kick. Cardinals send it the other direction. Trenton gets a hold of it. They will send it over to midfield, picked off by the Cardinals. Trenton sends it over to the far side of the field. Going to go out of bounds for a Cardinal throw-in. Well, looks like that call may be reversed. It's going to be Trenton with the ball. There's the throw-in. Caruso headed it away. Shot up the line by the Cardinals. And now it's the Cardinals on a bit of a breakaway. They'll slow it down now. Cross cleared by Trenton. Brought down by Lawrence, now shot towards the goal. And Lima has to field another one. These shots coming in from a good distance out, giving Lima a chance to set up for them. Cardinals settle the ball. Now Trenton heading the other direction with it. They'll send it over to the far sideline, across the sideline for a Cardinal throw-in. Cardinals with the throw-in. Kicked out of bounds by Trenton. That'll be another Lawrence throw-in. Albuena setting up for the throw-in. Now he'll pass it off to Maloney for the throw-in. Now Maloney's going to turn it over to Sepulveda for the throw-in. Oh, it's not going to be a throw-in. It's going to be a free kick after the Trenton player ejected with the yellow card. Referee making sure everyone's far enough away for the kick. Here's the kick. That one is going to be cleared by Trenton. That gets through. Good play there by Maloney to break up the drive. It's going to be throw in for, well, I thought it was going to be a throw in. Throw in for the Cardinals. Sepulveda getting ready for the throw in. There's the throw. Caruso drops it back. Now over to Naum. Back to center. And Lawrence will play it over to the far side of the field. Ball's going to be taken away by Trenton. Trenton plays it up the far sideline. Into the corner. I was going to roll across the end line. It's hard to tell from here who had the last touch on it. It's going to be a goal kick for Lawrence. There's the kick. Fielded by Trenton, but it's going to be advanced by Lawrence. Taken away by Trenton and shot towards the goal. That one's going to be wide of goal and over the end line for another Lawrence goal kick. Hone setting up for the kick. Hone boots it up the field. That one's going to be headed out of bounds. It'll be a throw in for the Tornadoes. There's the throw. It's going to be out of bounds. Another throw in for the Tornadoes. There's a throw in. Going to be kicked away by the Cardinals. They'll drop it back. Oh, it's going to be grabbed by Tornadoes, but Lawrence gets clearing on it. And now Trenton once more trying to advance towards the goal. Going to be kicked out of bounds by the Cardinals. Trenton with the throw in. Now Trenton settles the ball. They'll move it over to the far sideline. Couldn't keep it in bounds. That's going to be a Cardinal throw in. There's the throw. Cardinals will drop it back. Now moving it over to the near side of the field. Big kick up the field. A race into the corner to see who can get there, and it's going to be Lawrence coming up with the ball, but taken away by Trenton. Trenton kicks it out of bounds. It'll be a Lawrence throw in. Now with the throw in. Cross is headed in towards the goal, but just wide of goal. No goal. Now Trenton setting up for the goal kick. Here's the kick. That was going to bounce out of bounds. Cardinal throw in. Caruso setting up for the throw. Caruso throws it back. And Hone kicks it up the middle. Ends up right about where it was. Cardinals looking for a way through with the ball, and there it is. Now, far side of the field, looking for a way through. Into the corner, and there's the cross. That one's going to go over the end line. Last touch by Trenton, I believe, which would bring up a corner kick for the Cardinals. Owen Boggs heading over to the corner for the kick. Boggs has Sepulveda right there with him for support. Here's a kick by Boggs. That was going to drop in right in front of the goal. No goal. It's going to be a goal kick for Trenton. There's the kick. Ball tipped away by Trenton. Last touch by Lawrence. That'll be a Trenton throw in. There's the throw. Trenton keeps it in. Looking for someone to cross to. Have to drop it back. Now there's a big cross. That one's going to go wide and over towards the sideline. Cardinals able to clear it, but Trenton gets a hold of it. Shot towards the goal. That one's going to be deflected out of bounds by the Cardinals for a Trenton corner kick. I believe that's Jose Lemus heading over for the corner kick. There's the kick. That was going to drop in towards the goal, headed away by the Cardinals. Fired in by Trenton, but that's wide of goal. Goal kick, Lawrence. Hone setting up for the goal kick. There's the kick. And Lawrence brings it down by the near sideline. Now advancing it up the sideline. Shot on goal and diving save there by Lima. He can't hang on to it. Finally, Trenton clears it up the far sideline. Cardinals fire it right back in, and it's kicked right back out. Silver on the far side with the ball. He'll play it off, and it's sent forward by the Cardinals. A lot of activity just outside the 18. Cardinals still maintaining possession until now, when Trenton's able to clear it. Cardinals will play it back now over to the near sideline. And that's going to be a call against Trenton. It'll be a free kick for the Cardinals. Owen setting up for the kick. Waiting for the go-ahead from the referee. Good to see the Cardinal cheerleaders here supporting the team today. There's the kick. And shot on goal. Oh, another dive there by Lima, but it's just wide of goal. That's going to bring up a Cardinal corner kick. There's the kick. That one goes past the goal, settled. Well, okay, Silver brings that one down. They'll cross it back into the middle. Cardinals unable to put it in towards the goal yet. That's going to be cleared by Trenton. Ball's taken away by the Cardinals. Now Cardinals turn it over to Trenton. Across the center by Trenton. They get some ground there, and now they'll play it off toward the corner. Trenton able to keep it in bounds. There's a cross. It's brought back out by the Cardinals. Trenton gets a hold of it. They will play it towards the Lawrence goal. Lawrence sends it back. Now it's Lawrence on the attack. Ball taken away by Trenton. Played up the middle, and Lawrence will take it away. Lawrence plays it in towards center. That kick is picked off by Trenton, and Trenton will play it off to the far sideline where Lawrence will steal it. Now Lawrence on the attack. Trenton gets to it first. Now shot on goal. That one's headed away by Trenton. Trenton comes away with the ball after it bounces around on several heads. Trenton will send it over towards that far corner again. Lawrence gets it out of the area. Now Lawrence will move it in towards the middle of the field and play it over towards the near side. That one's going to go out of bounds. Going to be Trenton throw-in. There's the throw. Taken away by Lawrence, but recovered by Trenton. Lawrence throw-in. Now with the throw-in. Lawrence will play it over to the far side of the field. Now big kick from deep outside and right into the waiting arms of Lima. Cardinals have been keeping Lima busy, but he's been doing a good job of keeping the ball out of the net. Whistle on that play. Looks like it's going to be a free kick for Trenton. Rosales setting up for the kick. Here's the kick. That one's going to head right across the end line for a Lawrence goal kick. It's going to be a short kick there by Garcia. That ball's going to be taken away by Trenton. And that's going to rebound off of a Trenton player out of bounds for a Lawrence goal kick. Crowd getting quite animated about that play. Now Hone setting up for the kick. There's the kick. It's going to be sent the other direction by Trenton. And kicked out of bounds by Lawrence. Trenton with the throw in. Launched up in the air by Lawrence. And sent well down the field by Trenton. Headed the other direction by Lawrence. Back and forth it goes, and Lawrence comes away with the ball. Silver pounds it up the middle. Trenton's going to get to it first. They'll kick it out of bounds for a Lawrence throw-in. Lawrence with the throw-in. Kicked out of bounds. It'll be Lawrence throw-in once more. Lawrence throws it back. That play didn't work out as Trenton gets a foot on it. Drop it back some more, and even further back as they cross it over towards the near side of the field. Now Lawrence making some progress. That pass is going to be picked off by Trenton. Trenton fires it up the line. Lawrence will return the favor. Trenton comes away with the ball. Missed kick, and second attempt is good. That ball bounces across, just out of the reach of Garcia. That's going to be a goal kick for Lawrence. Hone setting up for the kick. There's the kick. Hone getting good distance on those goal kicks. Trenton launches the ball up the middle. Now Trenton heading towards the Lawrence goal. Going to be a whistle on the play. And that may be a penalty shot for Trenton.
You're watching the Cardinal Sports Network here on LTPS TV.
Orellana will be taking the shot for Trenton. Here's the kick. And it's in for a goal as Trenton advances to a 3-1 lead. Garcia guessed wrong on which way the kick was going to go, dove, and left the far side of the net open. That's a hero or a zero move there. You never know which way the kicker is going to go with it, and you just have to take your best guess. Cardinals center the ball. Kicked up the middle. That one's going to bounce all the way into the waiting arms of Lima. Lima taking his time. Bring it out to the edge of the 18. Now he'll drop kick it. That was going to be headed out of bounds by the Cardinals. It'll be a Trenton throw-in. But the buzzer's going to sound before they can, and that will bring the first half to a close with Trenton leading by a score of 3-1 over the Lawrence Cardinals. Stay tuned for second half action.
You're watching the Cardinal Sports Network here on LTPS TV. You're watching the Cardinal Sports Network here on LTPS TV.
Cardinals will be centering the ball to start the second half. Just waiting for the go-ahead from the ref. There it is, and Cardinals will drop it back. Move it over toward the near side of the field, and now launch it up the field. Cardinals settle the ball. Played in towards the middle. Good pass up towards the corner. That one gets through, though. And DeLeon was unable to get to it in time. That was going to go across the end line for a Trenton goal kick. Trenton with the kick. That's headed right back in towards the Trenton goal. Defense kicks it out. And there's a big kick from Trenton to drop it down into the near corner. It's going to bounce across the end line. Well, maybe not. cross out in front of the goal. Open opportunity there for Trenton, but Lawrence able to clear it. In fact, Lawrence sends it all the way back down to the other end of the field. Kicked up in the air by Trenton. That kick goes a little wide, and it's going to be over the end line. It'll be a goal kick for Trenton. Trenton with the kick. Headed the other direction by Lawrence. Brought down by Trenton. Turned over to Lawrence. Recovered by Trenton. And Lawrence comes up with it, but it's turned back over to Trenton. And it's going to be out of bounds on Trenton.
You're watching the Cardinal Sports Network here on LTPS TV.
Sepulveda will be taking the throw in. There's the throw, unchallenged. Now pass it through the middle. That was going to be turned over to Trenton, who give it right back to Lawrence. Now Lawrence moving it up the near sideline. Trenton will get there first and kick it out of bounds. Sepulveda with the throw. And that call's going to go against the Cardinals. It'll be a free kick for Trenton. There's the kick. Lawrence sends it the opposite direction. And Lawrence comes away with the ball. Now Lawrence advancing on the goal. And that one gets away. It'll roll across the end line for a Trenton goal kick. Trenton setting up for the kick. Here it goes. And Lawrence will send it the other direction. That's going to be turned over to Trenton with a throw in. This time Lawrence gets the throw in. That was going to roll out of bounds. It'll be a Trenton throw in. Out of bounds on Lawrence, another Trenton throw in. That throw goes out of bounds. It's going to be Lawrence throwing. Maloney with the throw. It's going to be out on Lawrence. Trenton throwing. Trenton with the throw. Just barely kept that one in bounds. Now Lawrence sends it up the field. It's sent right back by Trenton. Trenton plays it through. And Garcia comes out, grabs that one. Hone there protecting Garcia from having interference from the Trenton players. Now Lawrence with the ball on the near sideline. That one's going to be sent up the middle. It does not reach the Cardinals. It goes past the Cardinals, out of bounds for a Trenton goal kick. Now Trenton opting to move the goal kick over to the other corner of the goal. Here's the goal kick. That one bounces through. Whistle on the play, though, and that's going to be a free kick for Lawrence, I believe. Short kick by Lawrence. Now they'll play it down the near sideline. It's going to be kicked out of bounds by Trenton for a Lawrence throw-in. Maloney setting up for the throw. There's the throw. And across. That one gets through. Attempted shot ricochets off one of the Trenton players. Cardinals in the far corner. And that's going to bring up a corner kick for the Cardinals. Sepulveda setting up for the shot. Owen Boggs right there with him. Sepulveda to Boggs. Boggs back to Sepulveda. Sepulveda with a shot. And that was going to go wide and over the end line for a Trenton goal kick. Trenton with the kick. Lawrence sends it right back the other direction. Trenton skies it. And back and forth it goes. Finally, Lawrence with a shot towards the goal. That one's going to be just wide of goal. It'll be another goal kick for Trenton. Trenton with the kick. That was kept in bounds. Nope, maybe not. That was going to be called back as a throw-in for the Cardinals. Cardinals with the throw. Back and forth, headed around. And Cardinals will clear the ball. Shot on goal, and that one is stopped by Lima. Lima boots it out. Headed right back by Lawrence. Now Lawrence on the near sideline. Oh, fancy pass through. That shot deflected, and Trenton will clear the ball toward the far sideline. That goes out of bounds. It'll be a Lawrence throw-in. Lawrence with the throw. And Lawrence will settle the ball. Pass through, over to the sideline. Now Lawrence will bring it back. And we'll hold up play for a moment.
You're watching the Cardinal Sports Network here on LTBS TV.
Boggs will have possession to resume play. And he boots that one over towards the goal. It's headed out, and Cardinals will have to chase it down. They'll drop it back and send it right back up the middle. Trenton intercepts. Air ball brought down by Lawrence. Lawrence plays it through. And that shot bounced in and right into the waiting arms of Lima. Lima kicks it out. Cardinals with the ball. It's taken away by Trenton. Now Trenton sends it over to the far sideline. That one gets away. It's going to be a Cardinal throw-in. There's the throw. Cardinals working it down the far sideline. Now they'll drop it back. And move it over to center. Dropping it back even further towards the near side of the field. Shot from way out. Oh, and that one was right off the post. Lima tried to grab that one, and it went off his hand and ricocheted off of the crossbar straight down without crossing the goal line. Almost a goal on that play. Now Lima kicks it out. Lawrence heads it right back that direction, and Trenton able to come away with it. Turned back over to Lawrence. Lawrence will send it over to the far side of the field. Out of bounds on Trenton. Lawrence throwing. Lawrence with the throw in. And there's a foul by Trenton for a Lawrence free kick. Here's the kick. And that will bounce right over to Lima. Lima kicks it out. Settled by Lawrence. Lawrence will drop it back and play it over towards the near sideline. Now drop it back once more and now send it back over to the midfield. Lawrence shifts it to the far side of the field, and they'll play it up the sideline. Once more dropping it back. Back and forth it goes. Neither team able to keep it for long. Now Lawrence with the ball. Unchallenged at the moment. Silver rolls it across to the center. That pass is rejected by Trenton, and now it's Trenton headed the other way with the ball. Lawrence turns it around. Now Trenton fires it deep into Cardinal territory, heading into the far corner. That was going to roll across the end line. Going to be a goal kick for Lawrence. Boone setting up for the kick. Well, a little trick play there as Garcia passes it to Hone. Hone will play it up the near sideline. Whistle on the play. I believe that's going to be a free kick for the Cardinals. Hone setting up for the kick. There's a kick. That drops inside the 18. Cardinals unable to turn that one into the goal. That's going to be, I believe, a corner kick for the Cardinals, they're calling it. Sepulveda setting up for the corner kick. Sepulveda Drops it into the mass in front of the goal. It's going to be headed out by Trenton. Trenton fires it right up the middle. Owen fires it right back. And this time the call is going to go against the Cardinals. It'll be a Trenton free kick. Mendez will take the kick for Trenton. Here's the kick. That was going to bounce way down inside the Cardinals 18. And Garcia will come out of the net to pick it up. He'll roll it over to Hone. Hone tried sending it up the sideline, headed back by Trenton. Trenton sends it back over toward the sideline. There's a cross. No one there but Lawrence. And Lawrence will send it back out to midfield. Now played over to the far side of the field. They'll drop it back and fire it even further up the far side of the field. Trenton gets a foot on it. Now over on the far sideline. Lawrence drops it back and immediately kicks it further ahead. Now Cardinals drop back and reset. Pass in to the center, now off to the near corner. They'll drop it back. And that will be whistled to a stop. And Silver gets run over. Zago Choa is going to be taking the free kick. Ochoa with the kick, and Lima will grab that one. Lima jogs out to the edge of the 18, and he'll kick that one down the field. Now Lawrence coming the other direction with the ball. Cardinals pass it over to midfield. And shot on goal. Lima grabs that one. Lima with the drop kick. And now it's Trenton moving the ball towards the Lawrence goal. Going to go over the end line and bring up a goal kick for Lawrence. Owen setting up for the kick. That one's sent up the middle, headed back by Trenton. Lawrence settles it, plays it back up the middle. Cardinals play it off towards this side of the field. Oh, and a good play there to send one in. Boggs gets a foot on it, but unable to get it past Lima. Lima with the kick. Header by Trenton, settled by Lawrence, who sent it back out to midfield. Lawrence working up the center. And shot in there by Trefimchuk, just wide of goal. That'll bring up a goal kick for Trenton. There's the goal kick. Headed up in the air and settled by Trenton. Now, big kick towards the Lawrence goal. That was going to go over the end line for a Lawrence goal kick. Garcia setting up for the kick. And he'll send it out past the midfield line. Sent right back by Trenton. Taken away by Lawrence. Lawrence plays it over to the far corner. They'll drop it back, and here's a cross. And Lima comes out of the mess holding the ball. Lima with the kick. Out of bounds on Lawrence. That'll be a Trenton throw-in. Trenton with the throw-in. Lawrence gets a hold of it. Lawrence moves it over to the near sideline. There's a pass inside. Shot on goal. Oh, and that one is deflected by a Trenton player and just hits the crossbar. Lawrence with another almost goal there. Lawrence plays it over to the near corner. There's a cross. That was going to be cleared by Trenton and put into orbit by Lawrence. That may have been a field goal. That'll bring up a goal kick for Trenton. Here's the kick. Lawrence will return the ball. Cross to the far side, back and forth, and that was going to be sent over the end line by the Cardinals for another Trenton goal kick. Trenton with the kick. That one's headed further down the line by Trenton, and they will settle the ball. Cardinal defense moving them back. Now Trenton will send it down the near sideline. That's going to go out of bounds on Lawrence. Trenton throwing. Trenton with the throw, picked off by Lawrence. Lawrence finally clears it. Trenton's going to send it forward, but picked off once more by Lawrence. Now Lawrence at midfield, they'll move it over to the near sideline. And drop it back. It's taken away by Trenton, but recovered by Lawrence. Now a big shot from deep outside. That was going to be a little high. No goal, that'll be a goal kick for Trenton. Mendez with the kick. Lawrence trying to bring the ball down. Now Trenton sends it back. Finally, Trenton settles the ball. And Lawrence will send it across the sideline. Bring up a Trenton throw in. There's the throw. Trenton tied up in the corner. Lawrence clears the ball. Now Lawrence will play it up the near sideline, and it's Lawrence going on the attack. There's a cross. Popped up in the air and headed towards midfield. That'll be popped up once more and headed back to midfield. And another one up in the air. This time it's headed for the far side and over the sideline. That'll bring up a throw in for the Cardinals. Cardinals with the throw in. Cardinals advance it across the midfield line and now over to center. With a shot up the middle that rolls over towards the side and over the end line. It's going to be a goal kick for Trenton. Here's the kick. Now it's Trenton trying to move the ball over towards the near side of the field. That's going to roll out of bounds for a Cardinal throw-in. Cardinals with the throw. Now send it forward and now working the near sideline. There's a cross picked off by Trenton, but it's going to go out of bounds over the end line. Last touch by Trenton will bring up a corner kick for the Cardinals. Cardinals setting up for the corner. Here's the kick. And that goes over the goal. Bring up a goal kick for Trenton. Trenton with the kick. Lawrence settles the ball, and they will play it over towards the near sideline. That one's going to get away, and it'll bring up a throw-in for Trenton. Trenton with the throw in. It's going to be out of bounds. Last touch by Cardinals. Another Trenton Tornadoes throw in. There's the throw. That was deemed an illegal throw. It'll be Cardinal throw in now. There's the throw. Trenton's going to take the ball away. Out of bounds, last touch by Lawrence. Trenton throw. There's the throw in. And another bad throw in as Cardinals will get the throw in. There's the throw. All up in the air. That one's going to be kicked out of bounds by Trenton for a Lawrence throw in. Lawrence moves the ball across to the middle of the field. Now playing it forward, that's picked off by Trenton, who sent it the other direction. Cardinals send it back, but it rolls out of bounds for a Trenton throw in. And another Trenton throw in. Now it'll be a Lawrence throw in. There's a throw. And Cardinals will get to do it again. There's the throw in. This time it'll be a Trenton throw in. Lawrence settles the ball. Playing it forward. That one's going to be kicked out of bounds by Trenton for a Lawrence throw in. There's the throw. And big kick towards the goal. That one's cleared by Trenton. Lawrence settles it. Now pass into the corner. And Lawrence just can't get there quite in time to do anything with that one. He'll roll over the inline and bring up another goal kick for Trenton. Here's the kick. Trenton settles the ball and pokes it through. That one actually gets past Garcia but misses the goal. It's going to be a goal kick for Lawrence. Hone setting up for the kick. Waiting for the go-ahead from the referee. A little discussion going on over at the scorer's table. We'll take a quick break and be right back.
You're watching the Cardinal Sports Network here on LTPS TV.
Lawrence with a short kick. Pass into center. Now Lawrence advancing. That one gets away. It's going to be turned over to Trenton. Trenton moving it up the far side of the field. Going to be taken away by Lawrence. And taken back by Trenton. That's going to be a goal kick for Lawrence. Short kick there. Garcia to Hone. Hone brings it forward, and now he'll send it to the near side of the field. Lawrence crosses it to center. Big shot on goal. Dive by Lima to try and get to that one, but unnecessary as it misses to the outside of the goal. Trenton setting up for the goal kick. There's the kick. Headed the other direction by Lawrence. Popped up in the air, and once more Lawrence will head it towards the Trenton goal. Trenton in the middle. Shot on goal is high. That'll bring up another Trenton goal kick. Here's the kick. That one gets well down the field before Lawrence able to turn it around. Now Lawrence moving across the field with the ball. Pass inside. It's going to be cleared across the sideline by Trenton for another Cardinal throw-in. Cardinals in the corner with it. That was going to be kicked out of bounds one more time for another Cardinal throw-in. Cardinals turn that one over to Trenton, but it's going to be kicked out of bounds by Trenton for a Cardinal throw-in. There's the throw. Out of bounds on Lawrence. It'll be a Trenton throw-in. Trenton waiting for the go-ahead for the throw-in. There's the throw. That was going to be called back. Trenton once more will give it a try. There's the throw. And Trenton's going to come away with the ball. They'll send it over to the far sideline and up the sideline. Cardinals come away with the ball. And they'll move it over to the near side of the field. Now cutting over to center. Thought about a shot there. He didn't get one off. They'll drop it back and cross it over to the far side of the field. Pop it inside of the 18 where it's headed out by Trenton. That's going to be out of bounds. Last touch by Lawrence. Trenton throwing. Cardinals sky that one. And Trenton's going to send it out towards the middle of the field. Trenton settles the ball. Now playing it up the far side of the field. And that one goes right into the arms of Garcia. Garcia sends it out, and Cardinals are on the attack already. Pass is obstructed by Trenton, but Lawrence maintains control. Shot on goal, and Lima dives to save that one. It's going to be corner kick for Lawrence. Lawrence puts it up. Shot on goal off the crossbar again, and the putback there is grabbed by Lima as the count on the clock is heading down towards 0. Lima boots it out. And there's the buzzer for the end of the game. So after 80 minutes of play, it's Trenton Tornadoes winning with a score of 3-1 over the Lawrence Cardinals. Thank you to Max Fogdahl for working camera for this event, and thank you all for watching. Be sure to tune in again next time for more exciting Cardinal sports action on LTPS TV.